never did. There were people lined up at copiers, and what she wanted to find out was, and if I go button in front of that line and says, hey, excuse me, I have 5 pages to copy, may I use the Xerox machine? How many people would actually say yes? What percentage do you think would allow somebody to cut in line? 5. West Coast in the house. Kind of cheap. Wow, now you can't get in line. I did this in Minnesota, like, I don't know, 80%. You know, so what percentage do you think? What's nicer up there? All right, listen carefully. The percentage is 60% of the time people said what? Yes! Now, Ellen Michael wanted to test this even further. Could I increase that number, maybe decrease it? Well, maybe she says, I put a reason. Because I'm in a rush. Number goes up or down? 94%! Just because I'm in a rush. But then Ellen Michael wanted to see something. Is it because I'm in a rush? So she took out I'm in a rush, and she inserted a non-value statement. Here's what it is. Because I have to make copies. Because why don't you make a copy? Let's make copies, right? Number goes up and down. The number goes 1%. Why? Because the word because is a compliance trigger. Now, you can program. I do this all the time with customers. Fill this out because. No matter what I say, they'll start filling things out. Don't believe me? Try it at home. So what happens? Why is because a trigger? Because you've been programmed since you were small. Mommy, can I get some, have a cookie? No, why? Because. Can I go outside and play? No, why? Because. Now, so in other words, by using the word because, we get people to what? Comply. Now, if you're a man and you're single in this room, I know what you're thinking. Here's what you're thinking. Are you saying what I think you're saying? Are you implying what I think you're implying? Are you telling me what I think you're telling me? Are you saying? If I'm single, I see a beautiful single young lady, and I go up this, would you like to come to my place? Big car off. She's going to say yes. What's the answer? No. The answer is no. Sorry, the bubble been bursting. Here's why. I'll never realize that the request has been reasonable. She went up to 20 pages. Look what happened to the number. Went down from 60 to 24. And look at that. Because it has to be reasonable. So we're always being influenced and nudged. We're just not aware of it. So here's the conclusion. We're more susceptible to influence than we care to admit. Whether you like to admit it or not, you are. The most influential people are the least obvious. Those are the ones you got to look out for. And rules of selling, influence apply no matter what you're selling. Would you agree with that? Are we all in sales? Yes. Are we all in sales? Yes. Born and raised that way, right? When you're crying as a baby, when you're crying, you're bawling. Bawling is just another form of what? Selling, right? As you get older, you start asking for things, you start begging. Begging is just another form of what? Selling. And as you get older, say, Mommy, if I did the dishes, can I use the car for the weekend? That's called bargaining. And bargaining is just another form of what? Selling. Let me talk to the ladies for a second. Just say yes, ladies. Yes. Ladies, let me ask you a question. So a guy comes up and says, how you doing? What's your name? Where you from? What's he doing? Selling. That's what he's doing. Now then he turns around during polite conversation and tells you, I work for one of these companies. You know, I live over here. I got a bachelor's degree in this. I got a master's degree in that. Ladies, what is he doing? Selling. That's what he's doing. Selling. And then he turns around and asks you, what's your favorite song? What's your favorite music? And he said, I like a little R&B back in the day, Teddy Pendergrass, Bobby Womack. He said, so do I. Ladies, what are you doing? And then you tell him, he asks what type of movies do you like? And he says, I like romantic comedy. And he's like, shut up. So do I. Shut up. What is he doing, ladies? He's what? Fellas, let me ask you a question. It's real easy. You see a lady on the line, beautiful shoes, beautiful outfit, got the jewelry, makeup, hair did just right. What is she doing? No, that's marketing. You sure? Then why is it that we've been taught from day one, sales 101, sell the feature, sell the benefit, sell the value, right? Feature, benefit, advantage, value. Feature, benefit, advantage, value. But we never talk about selling the what? The loss. Now, many years ago, there was a guy in 1960 by the name of Ernest Dichter. Many people have never heard of Ernest Dichter. Ernest Dichter is the true father of motivation research. When I say motivation research, I'm not talking woo-hoo motivation. I'm talking consumer behavior. And he came up with a phrase that went like this. In order to make people move, motivate them, we must make them constructively discontent. Now think about how powerful that line is. First time I saw it, I was kind of confused. We must make people constructively discontent. We must make people constructively unhappy with what they have so they will buy from who? Us. In other words, if a customer is satisfied with what they have, they will not buy from you. So our job is to make people what? Unhappy. Wow. So how do you do that? Give you an example of what I mean by constructively discontent. Remember back in the day, the record player? We had 33s, we had 45s, we had... That's the same as some people know. And we were happy with the record player. We were happy with our record player. We were content with our record player. Then what came out? 8-track, remember that loud 8-track? Look at some of you are having flashbacks right now. Right? And you couldn't fast forward it. You had to cycle through the whole thing just to listen to your song, right? So all of a sudden, you were happy with the record player, but as soon as the 8-track came out, you became what? Constructively discontent. You with me? So you were happy with your 8-track. Then what came out? The audio cassette, you're like, wow, smaller, I can fast forward. I'm constructively discontent with my 8-track. I will move over now to the what? The cassette. I'm happy with my cassette. Then what came out? CD. Did people move over? Not immediately. Something interesting happened. See, in the consumer's mind, they've never seen a CD. They said square versus round. Square, round, what's the difference? And at that very moment, the marketing people went to work on your brain. They came up with a new phrase called high fidelity. Now, the marketing people were smart. They went ahead and defined it for you. They didn't give you a technical definition. Here's what they said. What is high fidelity? I want you to go back and listen to your audio cassette. In the background, you're going to hear it. You won't hear that, but it's CD. Really? What do? You go back home? Oh, where did that come from? Right? But the interesting thing was always what? There. But it wasn't until somebody what? Pointed it out that you saw. See, it's our job to point out things to our customers to make them what? Unhappy. That's what we want to do. But sometimes clients don't see it. For example, when you buy a car for the first time and get on the highway, what do you start noticing? That car. You ever notice that had that effect? Now, what happened? Did everybody go the night before and buy the same car so they sprinkle pixie dust on the highway? No, they were always there. But you never saw them because your brain wasn't what? Focused on it, okay? So our job is to what? Point out why something is not as good as what? Our stuff. Now, here's another, by the way, when they went to the iPod, how did they convince us to go into the iPod? What did they say? Right? You don't have the storage. You can now carry 2,000 songs with you, on and on and on. Now, we went to the what? So we came, now we're discontent with the iPod, and now we went to the what? The iPhone. Now where do they want us to store our music? And the cloud, they keep nudging you along. So in other words, are you understanding what I'm saying? We have to sell the loss if we want people to move over. You with me? Let me give you a tangible example. So, I have a UPS box.